Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one must say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one must say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. Living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as
Hello, bonjour, Sanbonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances, under this COVID-19 pandemic. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Dr. Riel Ngunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from this podcast today. And today we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on spiritual growth. So in North Carolina, we have Mala Bullock. And in North South Wales, Australia, we have Liz Rose. And in Louisville, Texas, we have Dorothy Smith. And in New Jersey, we have Eric Volberger. So at this moment, I'll just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Mala.
Sorry, my unmute button was off the screen. Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Nothing exists unless you're aware of it. If you don't see it, it doesn't exist for you, except it does. We're told in so many ways to deny our feelings, to fake it till you make it, or just decide to be happy, as if you could just flip a switch. And if that works for you, I mean, really works, then that's great. But mostly it doesn't. The thing is, it can be really hard to muster the courage and strength to work through painful feelings, which is why we tend to suppress them. We want to feel better, not later, now. We don't want to walk through the storm to get to the sunshine. But sometimes we have to endure the wrath of the rain to feel the warmth of the sun. I use tarot and intuitive coaching to empower professional women by giving them tools, nurturing their awareness, and supporting them through their journey.
Wow, it's such a great honor to have you, Mala, on this podcast. So I'm looking forward to hear you speak. You can go ahead, Liz, and introduce yourself, please.
G'day, how you going? My name's Liz Ross from Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. It's an honour to be here. Thank you, Dr. Riel, for having me. Mala, Eric, Dorothy, great to have you all here too, other speakers. What can I share with you today in this present moment? Simply through an action, taking a breath, placing one hand on our hearts, breathing in for 3, breathing out for 3, connecting to our breath, brings us to the present moment, grounds us, creates an authenticity, creates an individuality, and also connects us. And it's through the vulnerability of not knowing, it's through that vulnerability to never give up on who you are, even if you're lost. Even if you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, I want you to know that you are loved, you are worthy, you are significant, and each and every one of you has a purpose here all around the world during this post-COVID-19 pandemic. I help women to heal themselves and create fulfilling relationships. I help women that have had hurt from the past to come back into their present. Thank you.
Wow, wow. It's such a great honor to have you, Liz. And yeah, you've already shared some nuggets on what you're going to be talking about. So I am looking forward to hear more of your speech. So thank you for being here. You can go ahead, Dorothy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Dorothy Smith. I'm a life coach, and my main focus is on people helping people to learn to love themselves. Most people forget how to love themselves because they take their time loving everyone in the world and taking care of everybody but themselves. So my focus is to help people, not just women, but women and men, learn to love who they are, accept who they are, and then from there to get themselves back on the path that they was originally meant for. I'm a spiritual guider, and without your spirit, your body doesn't exist. So you have to take care of your spirit, and I teach people how to do that.
Wow, wow, what an honor to have you in this platform. So I am looking forward to hear more of your speech, Dorothy. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And Eric, you can go ahead and introduce yourself, my brother.
Thank you so much for having me. So great to be here with these other conscious minds and this conscious audience, I'm sure. So my name is Eric Volberger. I'm a holistic life coach and motivational singer-songwriter. I'm here to express my personal changes that I've made and exemplify what it is to be my most authentic self. And while that happened through challenges, it happened through darkness, it happened through conscious decision making, my purpose now is to use my own story and to use practical tools and methods to help others create that change that they want, but not to become someone that they aren't already. It's really kind of this catch-22 of creating this change and evolving, but also really just returning back to our truest self. And that could happen in a multitude of ways. It happens by getting into flow with ourselves. It happens by learning how to surrender and be present. Like Liz was saying, it happens by learning how to love yourself, like Dorothy was saying. And it's really just a matter of returning back home to yourself and expressing that unique essence that you are.
Goodness. So now, good people, you can really see that we are surrounded by greatness. And thank you so much, Eric, for being with us here today. So I have a question for you, Mala. I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway where you are. What will your billboard say?
My billboard would say, when you deny your feelings, you deny yourself.
When you deny your feelings, you deny yourself. I love it. I love it. Wow. Wow. I can't wait to see that billboard. Maybe it's already there. Who knows? I can't wait to see that. Oh, yes, it's coming. It's coming. We always believe in there is power in our tongue. That's what I always say. There is power. How about you, Liz? Maybe your billboard is already down there in the busy highway in Australia. What will your billboard say?
Yeah, that was a cool one. Thanks, Mala. And yeah, so I would have, for every breakdown, there's a breakthrough. So with every breakdown that we go through, every dark hole that we land in or jump in, there's a breakthrough. So whenever someone's crying or they're screaming for help or something's not in alignment, there's usually a breakthrough at the end of that. Yeah, so with every breakthrough, there's a breakdown.
Oh, where there is a breakdown, there should be a breakthrough, right? That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Set it up to words. I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah, with every
Wow.
breakdown, there's a breakthrough. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And like, it's so 100% positive about life, really. If you break down in life, there should be a breakthrough, and I love it. So I believe it's coming. I believe it's coming. Thank you. Thank you, Liz. How about you, Dorothy? Maybe your billboard is already down there in the busy highway in Texas. What will it say?
I wish it was too. And that's one of my goals. My billboard is simple. And this is something I just live by. I believe in the spirit. So Miss Simple is you are a spirit in a body, not a body in a spirit. When God first created man, man was created from dust. He blew life into you. So your spirit is everything.
Wow. Yes, we are. We are spirit. I love it. I love it. And I believe it's coming. It's coming. How about you, Eric? What will your billboard say in the busy, busy highway in New Jersey? What will it say?
It would just say, you are it, period. You know, saying everything that you seek is already within you. Everything that you're longing to become is already within you. Everything outside of you that seems to be in the way is just a reflection of that you are. And, you know, that's not from a place of ego, but from a place of recognizing that connectedness to the whole, that oneness. So you are it, this is it, and you know, here we are to be exactly what we want.
Oh, wow. Wow. You are already like there is power in existence. You are already it. Whatsoever you envision, like 10 years ago, you are already it. So claim it, claim that power. Wow. I love all of the billboards, really. So I believe mine can be the fifth billboard driving down the highway, and it's going to say, rise to greater heights. Because you know what? The sky is no longer the limit. The sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights, and it's coming. It's definitely coming. So now we're gonna fly all the way to North Carolina. We're gonna fly to Mala Bollock. Mala Bollock, she is an intuitive empowerment coach and a tarot card reader. Combining the power of intuitive coaching and tarot cards, Mala equips professional women with insights and tools to shift into their true power so they can make their best choices and rise in the face of any situation. So Mala believes that power emanates from within, and that awareness, particularly self-awareness, is key to harnessing your power. She is certified in NLP and licensed as a spiritual health coach. She's a software developer and a potter, and does crossword puzzles in ink. Wow, 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 wow. So Mala started with tarot heavy hitters like Rachel Pollack, Mary Greer, and Richard Knight. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Mala Pollack.
Thank you, Riel. I'll just get into it. Every thought or feeling, emotional or physical, every pain you experience is a signal to you. If you have a burning sensation in your hand is letting you know it needs attention. Maybe you need to remove it from the hot stove top. If you have an emotional pain, that emotion is also letting you know it needs attention. You need attention. Maybe you need some nurturing. Maybe you need to give an old wound attention to heal. So how does a physical wound heal? The body heals it. You help it heal by keeping the wound site clean or the broken bone stable. You rest so that your body can focus its energy on the healing. But the body heals itself. And sometimes the wound may get worse before it gets better. Maybe, a cut gets infected, maybe starts to ooze a little bit, but that's the body taking care of it. And with proper care, it usually gets better. I mean, sometimes things don't, but that's a longer discussion. It's the same thing with emotional wounds. Emotional wounds are trapped within your body, and if given the chance, they will find their way out. Sometimes, many times, they just need acknowledgement to forge the pathway. So it starts with awareness. Awareness is the cornerstone of empowerment. Awareness is what's going on around you, what's going on inside of you, and what you are projecting out to the world. As Eric said, we're projecting all the time. Think about this. Would you rather walk into a business meeting knowing the agenda and who else was going to be there? Or would you rather walk in with no idea what to expect? How would you even prepare? for the unexpected. So I'm going to talk about 4 types of self-awareness. So we're limited on time. So physical sensations, thoughts, emotions and feelings, and energy. So first, start pain, and we're talking about the painful one. So painful physical sensations. There's an old joke, doctor, it hurts when I do this. And the doctor says, don't do that. But seriously, if you have a pain, a cut, a bruise, a broken bone, you know what to do. You take care of it. Otherwise, what happens? It just gets worse. That one's easy. Just take care of it. So unwanted thoughts. You may have heard that thoughts create your reality. But what about those unwanted thoughts that keep rattling around in your head? We all have those. When you have a thought you don't want, let's say, I'm ugly. You could gaze into a mirror and tell yourself a million times, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I am beautiful. Maybe that will work. Maybe you've tried it and it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. When I say I'm beautiful, I hear, no, you're not. Who are you trying to kid? Look at yourself. So here's something else you can do. Rather than try to beat out your unwanted thoughts out of your head and replace them with other thoughts, just notice them. Accept that you have thoughts while acknowledging maybe you would rather not have those particular thoughts. Know that they are just thoughts and not the truth. Don't admonish yourself. Don't try to beat them away. Just be aware. Maybe have a little conversation with yourself. I notice that I think I'm ugly. I would rather not think that. I would rather think I'm beautiful. Or if that's too much of a stretch, start with, no, I'm really not that bad looking. So what happens is that magically, seemingly magically, over time, your thoughts will change more to your liking. I know it sounds crazy, but it works. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. So just pay attention. Try it. So now we're at painful emotions and feelings, and this might be the toughest, excuse me. It's a natural response to avoid pain, but it's important to train yourself to resist the impulse to run the other way. Emotions are stored in your body. When you feel a distressing emotion, breathe deeply to ease the stress. If you can, and maybe you can do this later, because sometimes you can't do it in the moment, close your eyes and feel where the emotional pain is in your body. Could be in your heart, could be in your stomach, could be in the palm of your hand. Place your attention on that place in your body. Just pay attention to it. Doing this puts your subconscious to work on it. Healing takes place I'm beating my palm. Healing takes place naturally. You can also dialogue with the pain and see if it has something to say to you, but just pay attention to it. Don't try to make it feel better, just notice it. And, again, this is something, if you repeat over time, really helps give that pathway. Your subconscious is working on it. Your body is healing that emotion. It over time, it works. Now, I have to mention a caveat here. One size does not fit all. If you have chronic or severe depression, anxiety, trauma, I'm pretty sure that you're pretty aware of it, but you don't want to wallow in it or let it swallow you whole. These techniques may help. I think they will, but you may need to seek out the help of someone who specializes in these things. Maybe, find supplements or drugs to address any chemical imbalance. So, I know sometimes you hear like, oh, this is going to help everybody. No, you need to. And that makes, that always makes me feel worse when it doesn't work. So energy is the last one. And this one's really big, and I'll just like to cover it superficially. Energy is everything. It's all around you. It's inside of you. It affects you. It is you. Becoming aware of energy equips you with more information about yourself and the world around you. some energy feels good and some not so good. And like the other, like emotional pain, avoiding unpleasant energy is also natural, but leaning into it can bring you greater understanding of yourself and how to navigate it. Cultivating your intuition is the pathway to doing so. And now, again, I'm not saying you should seek out or tolerate negative energy. Personally, I would too, but I tune into it from a distance and let it inform me. And over time, when you do this, you find it affects you less and less, and it's around you less. So in closing, I'd like to say that cultivating awareness empowers you in so many ways. It equips you with information to make better choices and make the changes that you desire in your life. So I guess a little bit about me. Right now, timing is funny. I'm aware that my website and Facebook pages are currently a little bit of a hot mess. And we're here in May 22. I'm overhauling my business. It's been a couple of tumultuous couple of years for me. Even my hair is curled. If you look at my website, you'll see my hair is not so curly. But I do have an e-course, an ebook called 5 Keys to Unlock Your Intuition. Fortunately, I'm updating it now, so that's not available. And I'm working on a new book called The Dysfunctional Fool's Journey, just tarot thing. Lots of irons in the fire. But because none of these are available, I'm going to give Rial's listeners a special gift, 50% off of all tarot card readings. So just, you need to book by the end of June, just over a month. Contact me for a coupon code and a direct link to the readings page. I'll hook you up. You can find everything. I'm supposed to change my thing. Everything is on my website. It's marlabolak.com, and you can connect with me on Facebook. I'm going to change my name to my website now, and that's all I got, folks.
Wow, Mala, just drop the mic. You've mentioned what exactly is intuition and how it works. And I like the way you've dived deeper on healing, because you've said that healing takes place naturally, and how healing works and why is it so difficult for healing to take place in the beginning. And you've also mentioned where our true power lies and how to tap into it. Wow, Mala, you've just shared the message for the day. Really, you've just kind of covered almost every area all the speakers are going to take right now. So thank you so much, Mala, for sharing such a profound, powerful, much needed message. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I do see the connections between, Liz mentioned the breathing, and
yeah.
Dorothy mentioned the spiritual. We're all connected, folks.
Yes, so we are all connected. And I love the way you've said energy is just everywhere. Energy is within you. It goes with you. You are just a true source of energy as an individual. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think your topic, it also connects with Liz. So we're going to move to Liz right now. We're going all the way from North Carolina to South Wales, Australia. I just don't know how they ended up having two North and South at the same time, but Liz, I think she has all the answers. So we have Liz Rose. Liz Rose help women heal themselves and create fulfilling relationships. She is a certified master neuro-linguistic practitioner, timeline therapist, holistic relationship coach, holistic counselor, meditation teacher, and Yusei Reiki 2 healer. Liz has studied a Bachelor of Nursing degree and have worked within the health industry for over 14 years now in various areas. She is currently studying her master's in holistic counseling through the Australian School of Holistic Counselors. She helps women to heal through her holistic healing packages, and Liz have a 12-step signature process she can take you through with her 4 pillars, which is healing, energy, clarity, as well as balance. So her areas of experience and passion are energy and healing work, holistic relationship coaching, trauma support, inner child work, and attachment styles. So her presence is nourishing. As you can see, she has a natural ability to heal people simply with her presence. So Liz have a great empathy and understanding of people, which stems from her life experiences of being a foster child, feeling unloved, unworthy, not good enough, and feeling different throughout her life. And these and many other life experiences has led her into her business evolve and become as a holistic relationship coach and a healer, helping women around the world to heal and create fulfilling relationships. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Liz Rose.
Thank you. I've been wanting to bow and do like a namaste. Thank you, Dr. Ria. Marla, thank you as well. You touched on so many topics tonight. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about a few different things as well around healing. Healing is really, really important. So if we think of an onion, there's many onion layers. And as Marla spoke into, we've got those emotional, those mental, those physical, those energetic layers. And when we unravel the onion layers, we get to the core essence of who we are as a human soul, as a human beam of light, okay? Just to pop that in as a nutshell. And I guess with helping women as a holistic relationship coach, a few things that I wanted to speak about. And before I do so, I would like each of us to do a breath in together. So breathing in this time for 4 breaths, 4 counts, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then breathing out a longer breath. So you double that number to 8 on the out breath. And we'll do that without the counting, just counting in your mind together. Breathing in for 4. And breathing out for 8. And that really calms our central nervous system, our parasympathetic nervous system. It gets us into that recovery, relaxation response. So we're able to come from that grounded heart space, coming out of our mind and into our hearts. Because so easily we get distracted, as Eric said, from the outside world, but also from our internal world in our mind garden. So it's really important that we're nourishing ourselves with the sunlight, right? Whatever that means to you, and watering that garden with love, with time, with energy, with that compassion. So I'm going to do visuals, right? Compassion, hugging ourselves, feeling into what am I grateful for about myself? What's been working well this week in my relationship with myself and others? What's not working so well? What could I improve on? What could I do differently? Because we're all growing and learning together. When is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When is the next best time? Now. I spoke about the present now. That was a Chinese proverb, so I like to let everyone know whose work is whose work. And simply through that breath that we just did, that's a practical tool, which many of the other speakers will talk into tonight, I feel, and that will ground you, that gets you back into that central nervous system of relaxation. So you can utilize that any time that you're stressed or angry. You might want to react in that relationship instead of responding. So there's a 3-second rule. When you take that breath, take a step back, take a step in. You're able then to contemplate, instead of the angry reactive energy, which you can feel, but in your own little garden or space, you'll then respond with that person and say, I'm just going to take a moment. And then you respond in a different way, a more amicable way, a way that feels good for everyone. And as humans, we have 6 human core needs. We want to feel significance, right? We want to feel certainty, that safety and security. We want a little bit of variety, a little bit of freedom, a little bit of spice. We want that growth. We want to feel growth and expansion, love and connection as well. And contribution. We want to feel that we're contributing back in some way by coming along to these beautiful collaborations and speaking from our hearts and our minds and bringing them together. And another practical tool that I want to talk into are 3 simple T's, the 3 T's in any relationship that will help you in the relationship with yourself and in the relationship with other people, which heals relationships. Now, the first ingredient that you need is trust. When you trust yourself and you trust your partner, that creates that safety and security, which on Maslow's hierarchy of needs and in our root chakra systems of energy is the first system, is that safety and security. We want to feel safe. You can feel safe through that breath. You can feel safe by placing one hand on the front of your forehead and one at the back of your forehead. This is really grounding as well. It also activates the central nervous system. And say if yourself or your child is starting to get a little bit ungrounded or cranky, with their consent, one hand on their forehead for calming and one at the back. It really assists. So I'm going to just share practical tools as well. Through trust, the other T is talking, which is communication. So if you're able to talk about, like, I feel this way when I hear you say that. Okay, that's more of a response. You're expressing how you're feeling in words. So it's talking it out, like not going to bed on an argument or when you're angry. It's talking it out, letting it out, and it creates that clean slate. And the final T is teamwork. It's really important we work as a team and our roles change. So sometimes there'll be a leader and sometimes the other person in that relationship will be a leader. Okay, and it's really important to share those roles instead of society saying the man does this, the woman does this, the kid does this. No, we work as a team. So trust, talking, and teamwork are vital foundations. And just to briefly touch on some of the processes within my 12 steps, I work within healing. So within the healing, we look at becoming aware of the past hurt, because when we become aware of the onion layer, like the core, you show compassion to yourself. It's the second step. Then you're transforming yourself because you're like, it's okay that I'm me. It's okay that that's happened because it's built my character. It's built resilience. It's built strength. Then we look at the energy. So we look at the alignment. There's a misalignment. And then we want to align that energy. How can we align it? Then you're embodying that energy. You become that energy because you feel more confident and free and lighter. From that embodiment, you're manifesting more good people, more good energy within you, connecting to your heart, connecting to other people's heart like we are right now. And then there's this clarity. So your mind, you're creating new seeds in your garden. You're connecting to yourself and to other people, like hand on heart connection, eye gazing, seeing in the spirit to the soul. And then you're committing to yourself, to God, to recommitting, right? And the first commitment is you. And filling up your cup. When it's filled, it has ripple effects onto your family, onto the community, on worldwide. So that self-care that Marla's speaking to is really important. And then finally, the 3 other steps is when that creates a balance. So within balance, you're just flowing into it, yeah? And then your energies, the healing energy grows more, like there's a growth, and then you're glowing. It's like your whole aura, your energy is glowing. And ultimately, you feel good. You feel healed, which is what it's all about. Thank you.
Oh, wow, Liz, oh my goodness. I didn't know that healing is quite a process, really. You've just shared how healing can take effect within you with your pillars, like you've mentioned, energy, clarity, and balance. As you've mentioned that you'll have to create trust within yourself, within those people around you. That's the first step, right? As well as expressing yourself. And you've also mentioned teamwork. Healing, becoming aware of the onion layer. I never thought of that, like the onion layer. I was just taking notes. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just take notes from throughout your whole presentation, and I'm gonna go back and listen to the replays. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Liz, for sharing such a profound message. And you know, I applaud you for staying awake. I believe now it's going to 1 a.m. your time. You are still here. So thank you.
Thank you.
So now we're flying back to the US again. We are going to Dorothy Smith. Dorothy Thomas Smith is a global forwarding coordinator, life coach who focuses on self-love as well as relationships. She has always motivated and assisted individuals with realizing what they wanted to achieve in that particular phase in their life. And after working jobs that wasn't fulfilling in her soul, she then decided to become a life coach. So Dorothy was born in March 15 in Jacksonville in Mississippi, but currently she lives in Louisville in Texas. She lives by the belief that we are our own creator, and we think our world into a reality. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Dorothy Thomas.
Thank you. I love the introduction. I was totally blown away. Milo, the first lady spoke. I hate tearing up people's name. What's your name again? The tarot reader. The tarot reader.
Sorry, I muted. Marla.
Marla. Okay. I hate tearing up people's names. I'm not good with names. Marla, you spoke to something that was so important to me. I am an emotional individual, and my guidance and my decision to follow my passion basically came from tarot readers, believe it or not. I got everything I needed and convinced me to go in the path that I needed to go and to start following my spirit. The funny part is I'm a Pisces. And as you know, Pisces embodies every sign of the zodiac. So it made it easier for me to connect with people, to understand them. But first, I had to get the understanding of myself and how the universe, everyone is connected. All of us are working off the same energy. We create our own life into existence. So anything that you see, you can manifest. You just have to put it in the universe and do the work, and it comes to you. The most important thing I learned is my billboard. We are a spirit, and you have to take time to build your spirit, to work on your spirit, and to heal your spirit. My job as a life coach is to help individuals realize who they are. And sometimes it goes back to tarot and helps people understand themselves. It goes back to the universe because we're all part of this universe. When I started my journey, because I had to experience things myself in order to teach someone else. When I started my journey in my spiritual healing, because there was a lot wrong with me. I had so much trauma in my life. I didn't know it. I'm always a positive person. I will smile and talk to anybody that walks by me. You don't have to say hi. I'm going to say, hey, how you doing? I'm going to start dancing or whatever, because that's my body and that's me and my energy. When I stopped and I looked at myself and said, Dorothy, you are hurting. It's something inside of you that needs to be healed. And when I started the process of healing myself, the second lady, Liz, part of your process came in, you just didn't state it the way I did it. I had to learn how to meditate and slow my mind down. That's so important when you come to healing your spirit and healing your body and become one with nature and just growing in your spirit. I had to learn how to meditate, and I promise you, that seemed like it's harder than having a child. Meditating for me, I could not sit on the floor, hold my hand a certain way. I couldn't do it. My mind was racing too much. So I had to get myself in a quiet space. I literally put myself in a closet, and I had to learn how to slow my mind down, slow my thinking down, and think rationally. I work 7 days a week. I have 3 jobs, trying to start 2 businesses. I deal with my daughter who has slight learning disabilities, so I'm constantly doing things. And I had to go back and connect with me before I could take care of someone else. And I had to learn self-love. I would tell anybody, and one of the people that I do coach, my first step with them is learn to love who you are. Because if you can't love you, you can't love anybody else. Then I had to learn that I deserve to be treated the way my spirit needs to be treated. I had to teach people.
You are muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how that happened. I'm sorry because I got passionate about what I was talking about, but I had to learn how to treat people. I had to tell people, I had to treat people how to treat me so I can love me. If you don't give to yourself the way you know you need to be treated and deserved, no one else would do it. You have to treat people how to treat you. And that's something I didn't do because I was so much of a giver, and I had to give everybody everything to be happy. I had to stop. I had to start giving me. Once I started giving me, I had more energy to give to everybody else. Then I had to get an attitude of gratitude. Bob Proctor is one of the greatest mentors that I know. I listen to this man tapes every night when I go to bed. But I had to get an attitude of gratitude. I had to be grateful for everything. And I learned to be grateful. And it was a mind-changing experience. So I tell and teach everybody that I coach, learn to be thankful for what you do have, and then you can manifest your world into what you want because you create your own world. If you walk around and you're just mad or everybody's in the world against you or nothing is going right, if you carry that negative thought, you're going to get it back. Whatever you put in the universe, it's going to come to you. So change what you put out there. Change your thinking. Say I am, instead of saying I'm mad or I'm tired, I'm energetic, I'm happy. Instead of saying I'm broke, I have more than enough money. If you say it, it has to come to you. And this is the most important thing that I teach anybody. You develop, you manifest your life. You call your life into existence. No one else can do it. What you see in the world that you're living right now is one that you created. And I deliberately create every situation that I live in now. I learned it, I love it. And this universe is yours for the asking. You can have any experience you want. If you want to change right now, you're a beautiful woman. I love your makeup, by the way. Your YouTube channel is going to blow up because that's what you're manifesting. Every one of us sitting here, we're going to excel. We're going to achieve what we want. We're going to rise above it because this is where we're manifesting in our life. I believe wholeheartedly, and I tell anybody, your life is what you make of it. Your life is what you want. Speak it into existence. Thank you.
Wow, Dorothy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm like, drop the mic. Drop the mic. You've mentioned the importance of positive energy and how important it is to have a positive spirit. You've mentioned that we are all spirit. And I definitely believe that we're all spirit. So as spirits, you've mentioned that we'll have to surround ourselves with positive people, and we'll have to teach people how to treat us. Treat everyone else the way you would like to be treated. That's what I got from your message, Dorothy. And you know what? For Proctor, he has also changed my life. He has also changed my life, and may his soul rest in peace. So thank you so much, Dorothy, for sharing such a powerful, profound message. It's much needed. in order for us to face each and every day of our lives with positive energy. So thank you, Dorothy. So now we are going to New Jersey. We have Eric Volberger. Eric Volberger, oh my God, it's mouthful. Eric Volberger is a holistic life coach and a motivational singer-songwriter. Mastery method, hold on. I think I'm losing your bio here, Eric, sorry. Mastery method certified and certified strengthening and conditioning specialist. Eric guides self-aware individuals to tune into their minds and bodies to create ease and flow, towards their greater self. He helps those looking to create purposeful change by teaching them how to get out of their own way and align all aspects of themselves with what they truly desire. Through the understanding of our thoughts, emotions, as well as behaviors, Eric creates an environment that allows his clients to access new ways of seeing, being, and behaving that lead to measurable transformation. So after the loss of his sister, Jessica Lubrano, to an unexpected overdose in 2018, Eric has experienced firsthand the power of mindset and emotional fitness while responding to a tragic life event. As he deliberately surrendered his attachment and focused his attention on gratitude, he channeled infinite peace, purpose, connection, and formless love. Following this experience, Eric realized that his capacity to guide others and infuse his songwriting into his service. So his sister was his biggest fan since the age of 7, when Eric was given his first guitar. He knew that the passing of his sister was gifted to him to be used as the muse for providing a profound message. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Eric Volberger.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. And I'm happy to go last here because I feel that everyone has already spoken to my truth, and now I get to kind of play with what's been said in my own way. And you know, what's so interesting, one thing that I've heard is that words are twice removed from reality. So words are just symbols of ideas, and ideas are symbols of reality. So we're all expressing these symbols of our personal truths that come out in different words, but they all weave together and root back to the same thing. And I just love witnessing it and being a part of it. And I don't doubt that, you know, not a coincidence that such like-minded people are joined here today. So the first point that I want to speak to is this idea of flow. And I'm coming from a place of experiencing a lot of anti-flow, or just a lot of feeling blocked and going against my own current and against the current of life. Growing up as an athlete, as a musician, as a as a young man, wanting to be enough and wanting to be successful and wanting to be masculine, because of my thoughts and my concerns and the way that I was orienting myself in the future, I consistently got in my own way. But there was a gift within that. I had to understand the discomfort of anxiety and the discomfort of negating myself and opposing myself in my mind before I even had the chance to express my potential. And what's so interesting about flow, you hear people talk about flow in sports or flow in music or art or some kind of expression, some kind of movement of the body. We could be in flow, but it really goes so beyond that. Our emotions, like everyone has said, our emotions need to flow. Our thoughts need to flow, whether they be spoken or whether they be written down. Our bodies need to flow, the blood, the breath. We need to move, and we need to open ourselves up so that things can move in their natural rhythms. And I'm so grateful to be a musician and to be able to speak on a grander scale about these ideas of rhythm or repetition and harmony and these things that pertain to songwriting, because they pertain to our lives and the way that we either flow or not flow. And the way that Marla was talking about our emotions being a signal, and we know when we're not in flow, when it doesn't feel good, when we feel tension, when we feel tightness, resistance. There's a physical manifestation of that lack of flow or that resistance. So the question is, how do I release resistance so that I can flow? And like everyone has made it a point to say, you have to be aware, you have to be present, you have to slow down for a moment to notice the thought, to notice the emotion, to notice the pattern, the behavior, so that we could recognize where we're being resistant. And resistance occurs on many levels, but so that we could allow the flow to happen. And the way that we eat either inhibits flow or it opposes flow. The way that our bodies move, or do we have our full range of motion? Do we have the full flow of our shoulder joint? Or is it restricted in some way? It's always showing up in every aspect of life, this idea of flowing or not flowing. And being someone that from a very young age, I was in tune with myself. My parents tell me when I was a kid, I had this crazy energy to me. I was climbing things. I was really believed I was a superhero. As a kid, my mind was in the right spot. But like most people, as I became a teenager, I got self-conscious. I started questioning myself. I started doubting myself. And it was that mindset that got in the way. So it got worse and worse as I got into college, and I was crying for a way out. I needed some kind of relief, and fortunately I found meditation, and I quieted my mind for the first time and found that I'm like, oh, there's peace here in this moment. I don't have to be so uncomfortable. And that led to one thing after another, finding the right books and the right gurus on YouTube, and understanding that the present moment is the only place we could physically be. And we have to surrender to it. And it's this Buddhist idea that suffering is this natural condition of the human, and we suffer because we cling, because we attach to things. And as was mentioned before, in 2018, I was confronted with this choice to cling or to let go. And it all started with awareness. I was aware that if my sister might be dying right now, the only way to relieve some of my own suffering is to surrender. I'm going to make the conscious choice right now to let go, to trust that the universe has my best interest in mind, and to let go of a form, being her body, letting go of that physical form, because I know that I can't hold on to it anyways. It was temporary to begin with. I got to let it go. And luckily enough, I was also listening to Abraham Hicks at the time. I was listening to people talk about the law of attraction. And I knew that if I am to energetically influence this situation, I have to feel, or try to feel, as if my desired outcome has already happened. So that's that, tuning into that reality. I'm going to feel grateful right now. So I made that conscious decision. And again, it started with awareness, like Marla so beautifully emphasizes the first main point. I was aware that I needed to consciously surrender, and I was aware that I was going to focus on feeling grateful for this opportunity to be a light within the darkness. So the most tragic thing that I could fathom happened, and now I had a choice. And as I did that, as I let go of my sister's physical form, what immediately flowed back in was formless love. Was her essence, her person. You can't put words to it, because the words, bless you, the words are just symbols, right? But there was this undeniable love that consumed my whole being, and all it said was, it let me know that this isn't the end. I can't say what is happening, but this isn't the end. And the unshakable knowing that all is well, everything's okay. Just let go, it's okay. And as I let go, I felt that okayness. And instead of grief, while there were emotions, there was sadness, there wasn't fear. There was grace rather than grief. And while moments of guilt come up, like, could I have done something different? Just tuning back into my sister was relieved. No, there's nothing wrong here. You did the best. Everyone did the best that they could. And this is just how life is flowing, and we're going to go with the flow. And I also immediately knew that through my personal tragedy or, my personal obstacle that I was given. This was the opportunity for me to step into who I was supposed to be. This was what I needed to write really meaningful music. And I've experienced firsthand the potency of mindset when I consciously let go and I consciously choose love over fear. And that's we could really dial it down as simple as that. This thought I'm having, this emotion I'm having, this habit, is it rooted in fear or is it rooted in love? And I chose love. And it was the most nourishing thing I could have ever done, the most inspiring thing. And I knew that I was supposed to use this in a bigger way. So then that leads to my third point of living authentically and living freely. Now I knew that I had something in my experience as a not a it could I could use a methodology, and I have a methodology that I was coached in myself, but it's really just I have this framework through which certain ideas allowed me to flourish and allowed me to heal and allowed me to be who I really am. So those ideas are applicable to everyone. And while like was said before, not one size doesn't fit all, but it's these same very simple principles. And again, dialing it down, are we going to love this part of ourselves? Or are we going to fear it? And are we going to shift from judgment to compassion, or are we going to stay in judgment? And, just being curious, what happens when I love this fear? I had so much stage fright, and it came as like an intense thumping in my heart every time I got on stage. And I was always like, oh no, got to push that down so nobody sees it. When really the answer for me was, how is this fear trying to serve me? Oh, it's telling me to take my mind out of the future because I'm not trusting myself. Or this fear is just fuel. It's getting me energized. So really shifting that relationship with that emotion. And through that, my most authentic self could come through. And as I went on my own healing journey, as I was mentored, I was in a program called the Institute for Coaching Mastery with a brilliant mentor named Alyssa Oberger, who teaches this methodology and really grounded all the teachings and experience that I had into this simple approach. And the more that I healed and the more I tune into what I really wanted to be and why I wanted to be it, and all these parts of me that were unsettled and how to heal them, music started to pour through me. And whether it doesn't matter the medium, but as we heal, as we allow ourselves to flow as we really are, creativity comes through, music comes through. You might just start singing out of nowhere, dancing out of nowhere. You're like a child again. I'm more childlike now at 29 than I was at 13 because I'm allowing myself to be as I am. And that's really why I'm here, and why I'm not only a coach, but I'm doing it with my music, because my music is that natural product of me healing. And it's a demonstration, it's a call forward to everyone else. Let that realist you come through and your journey flow through you, and just make that decision for love. And it starts, as everyone said, it starts with loving yourself. And I didn't know that self-love until my sister passed. I didn't know that self-love until I could feel her love for me. And I will never forget sitting in a meditation, feeling her presence and feeling her unconditional love for me. And I realized how I didn't love myself because I never let myself rest. I never let myself be. I was always forcing myself to be more than I was. And the ironic thing was, as soon as I slowed down and let myself be exactly as I was, allowed myself to rest, to pursue the dream that I had, and just loved myself unconditionally for being that unique person, everything began to change. I began to expand and evolve, and the chance encounters of the right people and books at the right time, and everything becomes like this dream. It becomes heaven on earth. It becomes the new earth. It becomes, a fifth dimensional reality. You hear all these ways people that are talking of it, but time is moving quickly, but we're changing from matter to light. We're becoming more energy, less form. And as that happens, all the shadows are going to become darker, all the forms, everything not like love is going to come to the surface. And it's just another opportunity to heal. And this COVID and, everything that seems absurd in the world or very challenging, it's all this opportunity for us to tune into this beautiful, authentic self and to love every second of it. I could talk about that all day, but I think that I think that sums it up. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, Eric, you've just healed me. I'm so emotional right now. You really healed me. You've mentioned that there was more of a release than grief. when you lost your sister. I don't know how long we grieve our loved ones who has just died. And we end up being mad. Like, I was so mad at God. I've just lost my sister not so long ago, last year in July, and then I lost my niece in October. So I was like, right now, this message was just for me. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing to surrender. I'm choosing gratitude. I'm choosing to live freely. Eric, oh my goodness, you just got me. You got me. I'm usually not an emotional person. I don't express my emotions, but you just got me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Eric, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. And I believe you should also incorporate helping individuals to heal from losing a relative, because right now you are as strong as no one else. We need you, Eric. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah, so to our viewers online, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. To our viewers online, please, if you happen to have any questions to any of the speakers today, please. Eric, oh my God. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. I'm choosing to surrender. I choose to surrender. So to all viewers online, please feel free, if you have any questions for any of the speakers today, just drop it in the chat box. We're gonna attend to your questions at the end of the podcast. So I'm gonna be the next speaker. Before I speak, I'm gonna share my bio. I'm gonna play my bio and I'll come back and speak.
Non-Pumelelo Real Kunene is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Les Brown International speaker. She is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. Real is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective, inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes in a seriously funny way. Real believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. Real's book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. Real Kunene wears many hats as a professional certified sales manager, CEO, strategist, certified travel counselor, trainer, esthetician, philanthropist, diplomacy protocol officer, international human rights analyst, and a commissioner for OAS. Following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalm 27 and 40. Keep her to rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Real Kunene!
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, amazing speakers. Like you, today was really life-changing to me. We were talking about intuition, healing, like, whew, it's been really life-changing. And all these amazing speakers over here, they've set the bar high for me, sharing a message emotional. I'm not usually emotional. I don't express my emotions. Like I've mentioned, I've never ever expressed my emotions in public. I always try to find a hiding place. I'll cry it out and then I'll come back okay. But today, Eric got me. All the speakers got me because I believe this is a way to my healing after losing my loved ones. So good people, I always double check. I always double check if I'm in the right platform here. How many of you with a raise of hand can say that, Riel, I have never, ever complained in life, never, ever complained in life. Seemingly, I'm in the right platform because, you know, sometimes in life we go complaining about everything. Or the weather is really bad today. Traffic was worse than expected. My family drives me crazy sometimes. Or the movie was really disappointing, you name it. Though whining can be a way to build an inspiration, it can also keep us from acting, and it gives excuses time to procrastinate from achieving goals. So one thing I've realized is that we usually complain in the wake of a negative situation. We tend to focus more on the problem than finding potential solutions. It's always much easier to complain than to find a solution. And individuals who whine on a regular basis, they're apt to have a bad health. So next time we'll find you complaining that, why do pizzas come in square boxes? Yet they're round. And funny enough, they're cut in triangles. Does that sound like you? Yeah, please write this down. Write this down. Trust God with your troubles. Trust God with your troubles. It's not going to be church, but you know what? Because I trust God with my troubles, and all these amazing speakers have shared some nuggets on how I can release the old me and focus on what I can what I can achieve from all the experiences. So trust God with your troubles. If you look at the always a church girl, I'm always a firm believer of God, by the way. So if you look at the book of Isaiah 43, verse 19, where it says, see, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and the streams in the wasteland. So honestly, this is just a redemptive story in store for all of us who are all reminded that God always does new things. Or perhaps you can say he makes all things new. If you look at Revelations 21, verse 5, he never changes, but as he reveals deeper and deeper layers of the truth, his people experience aspects of God and his salvation in brand new ways and depths. Like Mala shared with us, that where your true power lies, and how you can actually tap into it. We all have where our true power lies, and we should have ways on how to tap into it. So when it says, see, I am doing a new thing, God is beginning to reveal the salvation that the salvation that comes from Jesus Christ, who will die for our sins and rise again. In fact, he did that like 700 years later. And then the next new thing will be for sure his return and the final judgment of all things. We wait patiently with the assurance that when God says he will do it, he actually is doing it. So it's a wake-up call, good people. All these amazing speakers have shared some nuggets on spiritual growth. So what's your excuse? It's a wake-up call. But when the alarm clock goes off, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I'll wake up in the next 2 minutes. I'll wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and trust God with your own troubles? Trust God with your own problems. God repeatedly reminded Israel that one day, someday, he will come and rescue them from their enemies and reign as the king. Since in Micah 5:2-3 is a clear prophecy about the Messiah, the Messiah that points us to Jesus Christ. This confirms that Christ is our God. He will rule and establish a kingdom for Israel and reign as their king in fulfillment of all of his promises. And that promise is found in Isaiah 43. Good people, you really don't have to see the whole staircase in life, but you'll have to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say, that you don't have to be great to get started, but you'll have to get started to become great in life. So if you're feeling defeated, overwhelmed, or without a hope, take heart. Take heart. When you make the choice to trust God, you will see that he does things that are beyond anything you can ever ask for or anything that you can ever think. Whatever wilderness you're facing and whatever wasteland you find yourself in, put the trust in the one who is bigger than you or any other obstacle that you might be facing in life. And this is the Lord's promises for victory. Everything will work out for you as long as you believe. Liz mentioned that we'll have to become aware of the onion layer. Become aware of the onion layer. I just took that line down. Become aware of the onion layer. So right now, if I may ask you, right now, this is the time to start. What is God doing in your life right now? What is that you want him to do in your life right now? You know, as flight attendants always say that, put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others, because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help could possibly go down. So it's high time. Put that spiritual growth mask on yourself before you assist others. Because if you are not doing that, all of you in that plane will just go down. So it takes belief and action, and then just move. It takes belief and action on your part to get going, to get moving in life. Your plans don't have to be perfectly formed, and those will get later along the way. So get started, just get started today. Dorothy mentioned that we'll have to surround ourselves with positive people, you know, someone who will hold you accountable for your actions, and any step that you take, you need those people. And a lot of times when we try something, don't we just begin and then the plan changes anyways? If you are just waiting for that plan like to take effect, don't you just get started and then the plan changes anyways? Even without a strong plan in place to start, you must have strong faith in the place when you have to jump. He will create rivers, open paths, and make roads and connections that we could never, ever imagine. Eric mentioned that we need to live freely and authentic. Live freely and authentic. And Eric chose love. He chose to release. He chose to embrace the current situation. So when it says, see, I am doing a new thing, that's God saying this, I am doing a new thing in your life. Do you not believe it? You know, good people, it's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many, when they try to say my name, they always butcher my name. But, you know, Nompumelelo, in my own language, it means mother of all success. So you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success. No matter what comes my way, I'll have to chase after success. So if I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve maybe in the next 6 months? I know myself, I am one of those people. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. So as a coach or as a mentor, my goal is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. I so wish that you can just tell yourself that, you know what, I've just had enough. I've had enough. It's high time for me to take action. It's high time for me to feed the inner man. I am a spirit, like Dorothy said, but in order for you to go out there to be the change, in order for you to go out there and make a difference, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. That hungry lion in the jungle, really, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. And it's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what, I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see a lion, I'll have to run. I believe that's the lion mindset that we need in order for us to be the change, in order for us to make a difference in this world, because I believe that we all rise together and we rise by lifting each other up. We're only here to fix each other's crown than to tear anyone down. So get that lion mindset in order for you to make a difference, in order for you to be the change. You know, it's so funny, when I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird. meaning I became successful again. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature, it acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our vision, our capacity for vision and success. So that English teacher, really, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me, and it also aligns with my destiny. So I want to encourage you, if you are watching and listening under my voice today, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes. Since the phoenix has to die first, burn, experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down. Write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. And I know you've heard this phrase before, that your setback is your setup for your comeback. Your setback is your setup for your comeback. So if I can be honest with you, I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months. I don't know what dreams you have for your future, but here is one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you were designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, what books, and what ideas will die with you?